Welcome back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. Time for our Central Valley Electric Cooperative segment. And Leah is here. See if I hit the right buttons there. There you are. You're on TV now.
Good morning.
So you like that album cover from the...
Oh my gosh. You know, the Eagles and the song, particularly Hotel California, has been one of my favorites since my sister was in high school.
Uh-huh.
And I remember her playing the Eagles when I was young. And when I got in college, and I think I told you this already, but Hotel California was my go-to karaoke song and has been since I was a teenager.
Yeah. Wow.
It's an old song, but man, it's the best.
It's a classic. Well, it's up there from a lot of other songs from the 70s, like Bohemian Rhapsody and these other long songs. And I like the long song. I have a playlist of, if it's not at least a 5-minute song, it's not on this playlist.
You got to be prepared to have a good attention span, I guess, for songs like that.
Well, who was I watching? There's a couple of cover bands that I watch. There's Henley Street Country Club and the Lexington Lab Band. Mm-hmm. And the Lexington Lab Band have a pretty good cover version of Hotel California.
Oh yeah.
But it's not an easy song to do.
No.
And some people get it really wrong. But yeah, we found that album cover on the side of the road.
That's a great album cover, and I love it that it has the words to the song in there. That's neat. Good find.
I didn't have that album.
Yeah.
I had The Long Run. I remember buying that record, which was the one I think they came out with after Hotel California.
Right.
And I remember the song Hotel California, but I didn't buy that album for some reason.
My sister had it, but I don't have possession of it. I don't know what she ever did with it, but yeah, that was a good one.
It was. It was. Well, what's going on over there at the Central Valley Electric? I know you got a vaccine clinic. Lowell's is going to be back.
We do, and I really wanted to make mention of that, so I'm glad you said that. We've gotten a couple of calls from people wanting information, and I don't have a lot of information, but I can tell you that Lowell's Pharmacy reserved the Jack Case Community Room for January 18th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And they will be doing the COVID-19 vaccines. So it is a walk-in. There's no appointments necessary. And, bringing the ID, the insurance card, and all that stuff, I wasn't aware of that. So I'm glad you had that. But that is going on. So it's not something that CVE is sponsoring. It's not something that CVE really has anything to do with other than hosting it at the Jack Case Community Room. But we are definitely happy to help. I think this is the third time that Lowell's will be at our facility, and it just allows a lot of space for people to come and go. We have a lot of square footage in that room, so it's very safe. I know they follow some very strict guidelines on the social distancing and the masks and all of that kind of stuff. And, you hear everything on the news that this is not going to go away. It seems like it's getting worse, and it goes in waves. And so if you're interested in getting that vaccine, then you can go to CVE next week.
Yeah, and they're doing the Moderna and the Johnson & Johnson. And so if folks are interested in getting a booster shot or just getting started on their sequence, then this would be a good way to do that if that's what folks want to do.
Right, if that's what moves you. So
yeah.
But it's neither here nor there for us. It's just a place to hold.
But you mentioned this before. I mean, that's the purpose of the Jack Case Community Room is for events like that.
That's right. I mean, we've done obviously the elections. We've done a lot of meetings for different groups throughout the community. We've done luncheons for oil and gas companies that needed a larger place to meet. We've done training and education for different buildings or different businesses. And, it has lent itself, even in the old building, to be very useful. But now it's like 3 times the size as it was in the old building.
Yeah,
so
and there's even like a little kitchen.
There is, yeah. No oven or anything but we do have a microwave and a refrigerator and tons of counter space. So it is a good place to bring in food or have something catered.
Yeah, so that's good. And they just contact you if folks want to find out more about renting that space. Right.
Raylan and I have a calendar on our computer that we keep up with that. And then we also keep it in hard copy for people in our office who may not have access to the calendar. And so we put it in 2 different places. There are 3 different documents that go along with that. And it's just real simple little things to make sure that the room is taken care of when somebody uses it. We don't use it, again, for showers or birthday parties or things like that. That is a benefit if you work at CVE, to be able to have some family get-togethers if you want to, or if you have a funeral luncheon or dinner that you'd like to host for family members, then that is available for our employees.
For the employees.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, very good. Well, what else did you want to talk about today?
So the newsletter went out for publication for next month.
Okay.
And we will be having our annual meeting in March.
Okay.
And we are planning for it to be in person on Saturday, March 19th. And the registration will start at 9 a.m., which is much different than we used to do, because it used to be in the afternoon. So we plan on starting the meeting at 10 a.m. on March 19th. We won't be hosting a lunch this year. I'm not sure what we're going to be doing in the future years. This year is another kind of adaptation to the situation with COVID, and just trying to make sure that we get as many people coming to the event that feel comfortable. And we do have a little motivation. For the first 200 people that arrive, you will get a $50 Visa gift card to use as you wish. And that's, last year, that was a really good incentive. We had 200 people show up before we knew it. So you still will get your gift, an annual gift, and you still will have door prizes, and some significant door prizes this year.
Okay.
More so than in previous years. So we may not feed you, but we will have some really cool door prizes.
Well, last year, 2 years ago, you couldn't do the meeting.
Right.
And last year, you did the drive-through event in the Bulldog Bowl parking lot. So this year, you're going to actually be able to have an indoor event.
At this time,
picked
yes.
a location?
And we are at Estelle Yates Auditorium, and that's where we've normally held it. And again, lots of space and lots of seating opportunities for people to spread out if they want to. So we'll try to get people in there, go over everything. Last year, during the drive-through, we ended up covering 2 years of information. So we're kind of back on track with just covering the 1 year now. So we'll cover 2021 in our 2022 meeting.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing COVID messed up, is trying to figure out what year and what event that we're doing. Well, some people have utility services with other entities. They don't have annual meetings unless you're like a shareholder or something. So why does Central Valley Electric have an annual meeting?
That is a great question, because with an electric cooperative, just like we are, you are not only a customer, you are a member, you are an owner. So when you sign up to be a customer member of Central Valley Electric, it's much more than that. You have a say-so in how we operate. You have a say-so in the programs that we offer. You have an opinion that matters to this co-op. You have input to your officers and the elections, and we will have some elections coming up. We have some new things to go over with people, and we need that feedback. So each person that comes to these meetings is given the opportunity to make comment, to speak from the floor if they want to chit chat with people before the meeting even starts. And that's important to us. It's important that we get any type of suggestion that people might have on their mind. It's important that we pay attention to their concerns. So I think, we're not automated. We are people too, and we're trying to help people. And I think being a part of a cooperative is very important. It's a good role to be in as an employee, and it's a good role to be in as a member.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you get your capital credits after a period of time. So if there is an excess in what the co-op makes over a period of time, then those funds are distributed back to the members. So, who else does that? Definitely not investor-owned utilities.
Well, there's some credit cards that advertise stuff like that, but it's not the same thing.
It is not.
No.
So we're still on a 20-year rotation right now, and just released the 2003 capital credits, or just the list anyway. And then we've got some people, of course, that you can't track down, and we published that list, and that list has gotten bigger from year to year.
That's too bad.
Yeah, people move to different states, and I don't think they think about forwarding their address except for that first time. But if they move on to another, they kind of lose track of it. Yeah. So, and we certainly can't track down people if they don't want us to know their address. So
I thought I was done with you.
Yeah.
Here you are, still trying to find me. But the capital credits, that's money that the that the co-op has collected over and above what they anticipate costs of operation, and so on an annual basis, that amount is reviewed and then and is returned back. Some of that is returned back to the actual members.
That's right. And right now it's kind of on that 20-year rotation. So, so 2003 is up for grabs.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can if you're hearing this and you've updated your address and haven't let us know, now's a really good time to call the office and say, hey, I had an account back in 2003. I had an account even previous years or years after that. Be sure to let us know that you've had an address change, and we'll keep it in the records.
Well, besides, you might want to still get the newsletter.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're going to get notice of different things if you move away until you tell us not to. You know, I have people that move outside of the area on our email list, and they'll still remain on the email list, or they'll still call and want publications to be sent to them. So I think a lot of the communication and information we share is very valuable, whether you are a CBE member or not.
Right.
So sharing it with community members is important too.
Yeah, no, that's another good reason to go to the meeting. So what's the date again?
March 19th.
March 19th.
Saturday. And it's going to start at 10 a.m., but you can start registering at 9 a.m. And we've got a great gift lined up for everyone, a couple of them actually. And so you'll get that goodie bag, and then you'll get to register for the door prizes, and we'll draw for the door prizes. I don't anticipate that the meeting's going to last, more than an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. So you should be free to go to lunch wherever you want to go. And if you're coming in from Hope or Loco Hills, go visit some of these restaurants. They need the help.
The ones that are open on Saturday, that seems to be a thinner list than,
it is, huh? It sure is.
I mean, there's some that are open on Saturday, but some of the ones that folks are more familiar with are not. And so, you might have to search a little bit longer, but that's okay.
Well, and I've heard rumor that there's going to be maybe a potential food truck Saturday situation going on in town.
Oh,
where
okay.
food trucks come in on Saturdays and are available for purchase. So I hope that
would be
happens.
Helpful. Yeah, there's a few around. I'm trying to think. The only time I've ever eaten at a food truck has been at like the fair or like the Yucca Blossom Trade Days or something like that. The last couple of times at the trade days, the Thai food trailer has gotten a lot of our business.
Busy, aren't they?
And, but that would be kind of interesting because some people love the food trucks. That's all they go to are the food trucks.
I met some really cool people at Yucca Blossom that had a food truck. Very unique, different hot dogs.
I didn't have any of those.
They had 5 or 6 different hot dogs, and I got 3 different kind and took them home.
Yeah.
And they were all delicious. I can't remember who they were, but wow. If you like a hot dog, that was a good one.
I'd have to check that out. Well, and I think this last time they had the curly potato.
Oh, yeah.
And by the time I got done with what I was working on to go over there, this was late on Sunday, they'd already locked up the trailer and they were heading out. So I missed out on that one. But I think they've got a show coming up in April. So.
Yes, I saw that. And I got to tell you, Tammy Neal's done a heck of a job. Her and her family have just blown us out of the water. I mean, Debbie Rowland and myself and a couple of the other ladies have gone out there. And, we also have done events in that building several different times over the years.
You walk in, you go, is this the same place?
Is this the same place that we held Smoking on the Pecos? Is this the same place that the fair was? Because it looks nothing the same.
Yeah.
And she's done a great job. So kudos to Tammy Neal and her family.
Boy, they even brought in heat for the one in December.
So resourceful.
which we didn't have in the trailer, so I had to come up with an alternate heater for the trailer, which I'm not going to say on the radio because I know I broke about 4 different code violations with what I did to have heat in the trailer. But
your guy that did that,
Nate,
this last time, man, he was awesome.
Isn't he great?
I enjoyed listening to him.
Yeah, big Nate. So unfortunately, he's a Chicago Bears football fan.
Unfortunately?
Well, they're not very good, the Bears. And I gave him a hard time because he's not going to get to do his show Sunday.
Right.
Because of the Cowboys game. The Cowboys are playing Sunday in the late game on Sunday, or the afternoon game. And I told him, I said, being a Chicago Bears fan, I know it's unusual to be playing football in January, but
you get him where it hurts, right?
And I ran that past somebody to say, should I send this? And they said yes.
Yeah,
of course they
I'm
weren't
sure
the ones
he took it
sending
like a trooper.
He's great. He's a great guy. Well, is there anything else we need to talk about?
No, I'm sorry we got off topic, but it's always nice to visit with you. You can call CVE 575-746-3571 if you do have questions about the annual meeting upcoming, or if you do have questions about the vaccinations next week. It might be better to call Lowell's.